The time is upon us. It is once again Game of the Year season. The Game Awards and other outlets hand out their accolades in mid-December for some reason, which I've always found strange because games are still releasing at that time, but whatever. That's how they do things. They can do whatever they want. I wait for the calendar year to turn over and then I reflect on what was. The greats only, that is. A top 10 list culminating in my official 2024 Game of the Year. I do these videos annually, and if you're not caught up, here is every year's winner up to this point. Not a bad looking lineup, right? 2024, in my mind, was overflowing with excellent games, not all of which can fit into a top 10, so at the halfway point, I will throw a few honorable mentions at you. Sound good? Alright, after the break, we'll get down to business. Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. Kicking things off will be Retro Realms Halloween. The announcement of this title took me by complete surprise. I had no idea a Halloween video game was even in the works, let alone a retro-style side-scroller where we play as Michael Myers himself. With each stage making references to the history of the films and the boss fights featuring familiar faces and fantasy villains alike, I think I marked out throughout this entire experience. At just about 4 hours, this blood-soaked adventure is nice and short, and for only $24.99, I'm not going to complain about that. Pretty damn good way to get things going, in my mind. The spooky scaries don't stop just because we exited Haddonfield. No, sir. At number 9, I'm talking about Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Now, some might say, hey man, that's a remaster of an old game. Does it really belong on a 2024 list? And to that, I would reply that I'd never played the original Luigi's Mansion 2 on 3DS, so for me, this might as well be the first time it ever hit store shelves. I love Luigi. I love stomping around these creepy halls and looking for all kinds of goofy ghosts. These games are so much fun. It's a long shot, but I would not be pissed off about the original Luigi's Mansion getting this same treatment. Would that mean I played the games in the complete opposite order? Yes, it would. Do I give a shit? Not in the slightest. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is big time, not to be skipped. Am I a big military meathead sort of gamer? No. I usually avoid that sort of thing. It's just not my style. Did I buy and really enjoy Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2? You darn tootin' I did. Holy shit, this game is awesome. It's short and sweet. I think I plowed through the main storyline in about 7 hours flat. And along the way, I must have blown 5,000 alien scum to pieces. I mean, I chainsawed some of them in half. As a big PlayStation guy, I always kind of wish that Gears of War would come over. And the way things are looking now, I think it's only a matter of time, but Space Marine 2 scratched that itch in 2024. This was a blast, and I assume Space Marine 3 is inevitable. I'm already sold. I'll sign up for more of this in an instant. Another one, how about Dave the fucking Diver? Well, the title is just Dave the Diver. I added the F-bomb for effect. Don't go searching for a game called Dave the fucking Diver because you won't find it. Look, if you've ever wanted to go diving into the depths and spear fish and other aquatic life to then serve at your cool-ass island sushi restaurant, then my number 7 game, Dave the Diver, is for you. The gameplay loop is extremely sticky, the characters are funny, and in between leveling up which dishes you can serve and taking away dirty plates, there's a background story about an underwater civilization that I will not spoil. And I can't spoil it, actually, as I haven't finished Dave the Diver yet. But I'll absolutely come back to this one. There's no doubt in my mind. Highly recommended. Stellar Blade is in my 6th slot, and let me just say, this was my front runner for Game of the Year in the early going. This is a 3BS game, a genre I created and love to death. Big butt, big sword. Or big butt, big boobs, big sword. We need more of these. But I'll put the jokes about the ridiculously hot main character aside because Stellar Blade is a lot more than a good-looking woman. This is an excellent game with extremely tight and, super complicated combat. I was coming off a full second playthrough of Elden Ring at the time that I jumped into Stellar Blade, and holy shit, do I find this combat way more punishing from a timing perspective. This is another one I haven't finished, and this one won't be as easy to come back to as Dave the Diver. I'm speaking from experience. In order to refresh my memory so that I could start writing this script, I turned Stellar Blade on and holy Christ, I figured out I have no idea how to play this game anymore. In 2025, I'll start over completely and see it the whole way through. Is that 13 and a half hours down the drain? Some might say so, but they were 13 and a half hours that I loved until all of my work got in the way and knocked me out of my game time groove. I'll be back, Eve. I'll be back. We've now reached the halfway point of the list, so it's time to show some love to a few games that fell just shy of the top 10. Mario & Luigi Brothership is a game that, if 2024 were just 30 days longer, I guarantee this would have bumped something off the list to join the main ranks. I'm loving this game so far. It's damn pretty, but I've only had time to sink in 2 hours thus far, and I just need more time with it before I can really put my overall feelings out there. Redacted is sick as hell, and you should absolutely check this one out. The gameplay loop is absolutely addictive, and the price is right at $25. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake is another one. I love it so far, but I need more time with it. Jeez-a-loo, do I love the HD 2D art style. And one more, it's Tribreaker, A Sacred Symbols Odyssey. I usually do full reviews for Lilymo Games releases, but one, this year I just didn't have time to fit it in, and two, I worked for Colin Moriarty over the second half of 2024, and I felt a little strange about reviewing a game written by the guy that I was cutting clips for. Would that have skewed my opinions greatly? No, I'm an adult and I'm capable of drawing that line in my head, but I do understand how it might look if I'm getting paid by the guy and also reviewing his new game. It just sounds like there's some shit going on, right? There's not, and my side job of cutting clips for Colin has wrapped up. I'm just saying, I get the possible optics of that situation. Shout out to Tribreaker though, I am very excited to spend more time with this one. And with that, we dive back into the list to round out the top 5 games of 2024. With the top 5 upon us, I'm stepping way outside of my wheelhouse with Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Is this an anime? Are there movies, or is this a show? Is it a manga series? I have no fucking idea, and I don't care. I think I heard the boys on Sacred Symbols mention that this game had a free demo, so I checked it out. What I found was super fun combat, really pretty graphics, and a character named Rosetta who was bombed out, and I was sold. The ability to take control of any character in your party at any time, and they all have totally different fighting styles, means this game is almost impossible to get bored with. The story, to me, felt super formulaic, like, anime slop, where there's a girl who got captured and I'm like spirit linked with her or something, and we all have to work together to save her. Who cares about the details, because we're turning into a fucking Godzilla-sized dragon and fighting a Ghidorah-looking motherfucker. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink rules, man. Oh, this was so much fun. This is why it's good to broaden your horizons. You never know what might hook you. Ring the fucking bell, DanDans. Undisputed is my number 4 game of 2024. Boxing fans like myself had been starved for the better part of 2 decades, just waiting and waiting for a new boxing game of any sort of quality to arrive, and Undisputed is that game. From what I understand, the online is pretty fucking busted, but I don't play online, so that didn't hinder me at all, though it is worth noting. Undisputed gains major points with me for finally featuring a fantastic career mode. Combat sports games, since Fight Night Round 4, have forced us to pick from 1 to 3 opponents for our entire run. Not Undisputed. We were once again allowed access to the full rankings with the freedom to pick and choose who we wanted to fight and when we wanted to fight them. For me, this makes all the difference in the world. I'm overjoyed to have a good boxing game once again. Here's to a bright future between the ropes. Well, I did not see this coming. Dragon Age, the Veilguard is fucking awesome. I know. You've heard there's some annoying dialogue and it's woke PC garbage. I know. I'm not done with the game yet. I have quite a ways to go. But I can tell you that that is not my experience with this game at all. Graphically, Dragon Age is beautiful. The combat is one of my favorite parts of the package overall, and let me stop with my compliments to state that you are currently listening to someone who hated Dragon Age Inquisition, and I did not play the others in the series. I have not been dying for a new Dragon Age to come out, so I feel no need to defend this game. I don't give a flying rat's ass about the series or the studio who made it. I'm just somebody who spent months thinking the trailers looked like shit. But then when I saw gameplay, I went, oh, that's kind of the sort of thing I really like. I took a chance, I bought it when this was on a bit of a sale, and I am thoroughly enjoying the Veilguard. The more time I spend with it, the more I want to play it. My character is hot as hell, and I've got a sick fucking beam that I can shoot from my staff. I can freeze fuckers in place and smash them up. Some of the criticism about this game being preachy and annoying may well be valid. I haven't gotten there yet. But that just tells me how big of a shame it is that those parts are the only things being talked about surrounding this game, as the game itself is a ton of fun. So if you were scared away by the talk of this game being super woke, I'd say it's worth a second look. Unless you're extremely thin-skinned and you can't wait to cry on Twitter about something you disagree with, I think you'll be fine. But hey, that's just my 2 cents from somebody who's really enjoying the gameplay. In the runner-up position for 2024, I call upon Silent Hill 2. Holy shit, this remake absolutely blew me away. And listen, I just told you I goofed on the Dragon Age trailers. The Silent Hill 2 trailers did this game no favors. I was enthralled by the story of James Sunderland and his dearly departed wife. I played through the whole thing with my headphones on full blast, in the dark, and I think that's the one true way to trek into Silent Hill, for what it's worth. Amazing sound design, bizarre enemies, and gripping, tense action had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. Is this remake a bit too long? Yes, it is. I think it could have been a little shorter. Are a few of the puzzles straight up classic Silent Hill in that they are bullshit and are very poorly designed? Yes, I think so. But even with my criticism weighing into the final product, I loved this game to death. I did not see this coming, DanDans, so this is another situation where I was very happy to be wrong. Silent Hill 2 nearly took the top spot. But that top spot can only belong to one, and it's time to lift the curtain. 616 Entertainment's 2024 Game of the Year is Astro Bot. I can count on one hand how many games, movies, TV shows, comic books, pick any entertainment medium you like. I can count on one hand how many of them made me this happy. Astro Bot is teeming from beginning to end with the type of warmth that can only come from true inner joy. It sounds ridiculous to say, but I'm serious. And we're just talking about the look and feel. I haven't even begun to comment on the gameplay itself, which is so smooth. The power-ups are fun, the platforming is challenging, but not bullshit. The constant cameos will have you going, oh shit, for the whole duration, and when it's all said and done, you're gonna feel sad that it's over, but happy that the game exists. Now, if you did not grow up with PlayStation, if you're either a lifelong PC gamer or you're an Xbox guy or something, maybe you're just young. Not all of these beats will strike you the same way that they struck me, and I totally get that. But playing through the end credits of Astro Bot, for me, was like flipping through a photo album. It felt like I was reliving memories while creating new ones. And that sort of experience, for me, solidifies Astro Bot as Game of the Year. Oh, there you have it, DanDans. Another 12 months, another 616 Entertainment Game of the Year video. As always, I'm really looking forward to reading through the comments. So share your favorite Game of the Year with me, or if you played a lot, hit me with a top 5 or a top 10. Next week, I got you covered with a brand new episode of Triangle X Squared Circle, the wrestling game retrospective series. Monday Night Blitz 3 is now airing over on Patreon and under YouTube channel memberships. So if you want to follow along with handy dandy Andy Jarrett's final NFL season, sign up at any level and come along for the ride. Until next time, DanDans, I love ya, and I'll see you soon.